Ben McCollum's Iowa Hawkeyes are 2-0 after a 77-58 victory over the Western Illinois Leathernecks. I'm Corey Brada here from the Hawkeye of the Storm with yet another season of Iowa Postgame with Coach Gary Close. We'll be joined by Coach Close here shortly as we discuss this one and the ins and outs of that 2-0 record. I missed the postgame the other night. We appreciate Kyle Spence for filling in. So I'll be able to talk with all of you for the first time about this new team. So very interesting to see this team begin that process of gelling. It's going to take some time. They get a week off before they play their first big game a week from tonight against Xavier. And so plenty of tape to look at, not just from these first two games, certainly from those secret scrimmages that Iowa competed in as well. Right off the bat, this is going to be boy, who hired me to state the obvious, right? RTI Threads player of the game. I think we're going to be saying this a lot this year. Bennett Stirtz, 24 points, 11 shot attempts. If there was any stat that should stand out to you, it's that this kid scored 24 points on just 11 field goal tries. So you're talking about a very efficient effort and a guy who is used to having the offense run through him. Jess Settles talked about it tonight, about the importance of figuring out a way, if you're playing Iowa, to limit his touches when he doesn't have the ball, limit those opportunities to get the ball back to Bennett Stirtz at the top of the arc where he can operate. And again, everything's going to run through him. Thank your lucky stars you got Alvaro Fulgueras out of the transfer portal, because if they didn't have Fulgueras, boy, you're beyond the point of being one-dimensional, right? Like if Bennett Stirtz were to go down, what do you do? I mean, Bennett Stirtz goes down now, there's going to be major problems, right? But at least they have that second option scorer. To me, through two games, it appears to me that Fulgueras is that clear number two. I thought we'd see more early minutes out of Brendan Hazen. We have not seen that to this point, but we're just two games in. So RTI Threads player of the game, Bennett Stirtz. We'll add in the man everybody comes here for. Very close. On
What's
another
happening?
Gary, how are you, sir?
I'm
Always
good.
good.
How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Basketball.
What a great time to be a Hawkeye fan.
Absolutely. New era. And this is the first time you and I have talked privately. And I know we had the show with AC Earl a few months ago about the hire, but this is the first time we've actually seen this team play, or the second time we've seen them play in live action. First time we've reacted together. So thank you for being here. First of all, you heard me lead into this whole show with just the Bennett Stirtz discussion. 24 points, very efficient, 7-11 from the field, including 4 makes from 3. So 7 of his 11 tries were from beyond the 3-point arc. He was also a perfect 6 of 6 from the foul line. Your boy, Jess Settles, spent a lot of time on this broadcast tonight, Gary, talking about the importance, if you're playing Iowa, of trying to limit Bennett Stirtz's ability to get that ball back after he makes that initial pass in the half court. Can you talk a little bit about what makes him so effective?
Well, you can tell he's played a lot of basketball. I mean, he's under control. He's a very confident player. It's easier said than done trying to keep a ball away from somebody that's that experienced and that good. He does a good job of getting open without the ball and does a good job with the ball. So, 7 assists, no turnovers, along with his great shooting night. He's living up to the high billing for sure.
Yeah, we didn't add the 7 assists. 7 assists, 0 turnovers for a guy who's got the ball and is basically playing from start to finish. And you're going to see that throughout the year. That was another talking point heading into this thing. Just how much Ben McCollum has played Stirtz at Northwest Missouri and then at Drake. And people want to, knock the sustainability of playing your best player for 38 to 40 minutes a game. But Ben's like, hey, we've done it. We're going to continue to do it. Why is he able to do it? Is it just some guys can do that, or is it something with how Ben and this staff trains, coaches? What do you suspect there, Gary?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of all of that. I think he's used to doing it. He can pick his moments where he can maybe take a little bit of a break off the ball, possibly, but obviously in great shape. You can't do that without having that. But it'll be interesting to see if you get teams with really good quickness that just dog him all over the place, if that might affect him. But the fact that he's done it before, it's not something they're asking to do something he hasn't done before. I think bodes well for that.
And I also led with the importance of having Alvaro Forgueras. He got our big play of the day tonight with his fast break dunk there just before the second media timeout. And he's a guy, boy, what a big ad in the portal, because he's versatile. He can stretch the floor. He runs the floor really well, which we've seen thus far. And he is considered to be, I know he ended up on some mock boards even after his year at Robert Morris. How big is it to have someone like Forgueras with this new, and it's not a new system to the Drake guys, but trying to bring it all together at Iowa?
Well, you need weapons. I don't think there's any question. You've got to have different options, and the more you have of that kind of situation, then you can offset some guys that aren't having their normal game. But it was interesting. It's the first time I've ever seen Iowa play this year. There's only been 2 games. I didn't see the first one, and I really did not see any of Drake's games last year. So it's really the first time I had a chance to watch a Coach McCollum team play, and so I was really looking forward to it and came away very impressed.
So I think probably I can't speak for the fans. I know there's a bunch of people in the live chat, and we'll get to Doug's call here in a second. Our phone line is open, folks, if you want to ask Coach a question, 515-635-1601. But and I think probably the general reaction from these first 2 games, Gary, is Iowa looked better against Robert Morris. But, I tell you what, Jess was really touting the Leathernecks. He believes that they should not be picked bottom of their league.
Is his daughter go to Western Illinois or something? My goodness.
Right. I will say he was heaping it on pretty good there. But
Chad Boudreau is a local guy, and he's a good guy. He's one of the best. So, but he's got his hands full there. That's not an easy job.
But they do play physical. I mean, it appeared that they brought it physically.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say? Got off to a 7-3 lead early. What was Western Illinois doing early that kind of made it hard on Iowa, especially defensively?
Yeah, I thought that Iowa was a little susceptible to dribble penetration. I think that hard, they're extended and they're aggressive on the ball, and in many cases it, caused some problems and some turnovers. But there were some times when they gave up some court position and let guys get to the rim. But they obviously shored that up in the second half. The shooting percentages for Western Illinois really dropped off in the second half. So they made some adjustments and kept the ball in front of them a little bit better, didn't get as many easy shots, and rebounded well. Didn't give them many second shots, and used the turnovers in the first half to get some offense out of it. So, it's they're developing, but they got a chance to be a real good defensive team.
Okay, let's. We've got a couple of people here who want to ask Gary a question or two. We'll start with our mainstay, Doug. Doug, thank you for being here, sir.
Well, there's Doug.
Well, yeah, my internet might not be working out.
You've aged, Doug, since the last time I saw you.
Probably.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
How are you, Doug?
I'm okay. Like I said, my internet seems not to be working very well here, so we'll see how this all goes.
Who do you have for internet?
Well, I just switched from media. I was on my MediaCom connection. Now I'm using my phone as a hotspot, so we'll see how that works.
Okay.
So I'm using my Verizon phone.
It's just funny
because
I'm
tech savvy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had some major issues, like unfixable issues here the last 2 weeks that I just continue to hound the internet company about. I'm guessing it's because it just so happens that it started right at the beginning of basketball season when Jess Settles is on the air. So something about his influence just kills
I blame
internet.
it on him. Yep.
So
well, while it's still working, a couple questions I have. How much time, again, I guess you went to Wisconsin while they were already pretty established with Bo. You were with Tom, and you guys, did you have a lineup in 86 ready? Did you know who was going to start when you first came into Iowa? Or did you know Roy Marble was going to start? Did you know BJ? Because those guys those guys didn't have much for playing time with Raveling, but did you have an idea, I guess going into a new team as a coach, do you kind of know the lineup? Is he still could we see, I know though we're all see different lineups. He played, I thought Cooper played well, and then he stopped playing Cooper. He seems to be playing guys that are more defensive oriented than shooters. Like I said, I thought the K-State transfer would get a lot more minutes. The question for you would be, as a coach coming into a new program, do you already have an idea of what those players are? Are you still evaluating them? Where do you think he is with that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, you have some idea, but I think more importantly is you want to give every player an opportunity to show what they've got. In the case that you're talking about, when we first came to Iowa, Brad Lowehouse, BJ Armstrong, Kevin Gamble hardly played. Mm-hmm. And we had the benefit of, we had a foreign trip that summer before our first year. And basically that's what we told them. We're going to play everybody, and everybody's going to get about the same minutes, and then we'll just see what happens. And so we gave guys like those that I mentioned, hey, this isn't by any chance set. We don't care what you did in the past. It's what you're going to do for us in the future. And so it caused a lot of competitive situations, which is good. It brings out the best in people, and it makes everybody feel like they've got a shot and a fair shot. And I think that's important, especially when you're trying to establish your program. You want people to feel like, hey, I got beat out by somebody that's better than me. I got things I got to work on. So in our case, we had three guys that ended up being long NBA players that had hardly played and played huge roles in our season that year.
Yeah, and Corey, this question's for you. Are you surprised at any of the lineups or rotations so far with this team? I know we talked about because you said something when you did your because I made a comment when you did your Alvaro Falgueras clip, and I said I think Housen would be. I'm surprised the K-State transfer isn't getting more minutes, but I guess his defense might be lacking. I mean, last game when he didn't come in until 4 minutes to go in the first half, I was like, oh, that's surprising because he looked good at K-State last year. I
mean, I'll say this. I mean, me trying to act like I'm surprised by certain things. I mean, me even making. That's why I didn't even do a formal like season preview show, because we didn't get an exhibition. The scrimmages were private. So until we see some, it's almost like I don't know what to preview besides, well, the offense is going to run through Stirtz and you're going to see better defensive effort, right? We've seen that so far. We've seen those two things. Now, if you want my honest opinion, this is not based on really much of any inside information. 15 minutes, we got like 10, 15 minutes of scrimmage at media day where McCollum let the media just stay there and hang out and watch them scrimmage. But I mean, that was very little. I guess the thing I would take away from that I'm a little bit surprised with is I'm surprised we haven't seen Trey Thompson.
Yes.
I don't know if he's hurt, if he's dinged up. I don't know. I didn't listen to Ben McCollum's press conference and I wasn't there after the last game. So that would be one surprise. He really impressed me in the little bit of action that we saw of him in practice. He's long. He's athletic. He's got really good bounce. You okay, Doug?
No, I was going to ask you a question with that.
Go.
Why would you reclassify him not to play him? Maybe I'm not smart enough.
That's a better question for Gary. Gary, the circumstances. I mean, they reclassed Riley Mulvey and Fran didn't play him. So why reclass a kid if he's not going to play immediately, Gary?
Well, maybe they thought he was, and he just hasn't developed like they thought he might, or maybe he will. Maybe he's hurt. Usually, when people don't play early, it's on the defensive end, especially with a coach like.
Unless he's dinged up, I was
Could
really.
Dinged up.
I just thought he looked in that little glimpse.
Or maybe Corey's not a very good evaluator of talent.
Well, that's not even possible. That's likely, but I was really impressed with his hops, Doug. And no, I mean, I think yes, Hazen. I guess I've been pronouncing his name. I've been saying Hausen, and now everybody's saying Hazen, so it's Hazen, I guess. I am surprised that he's not playing more as well. Frankly, the starting lineup on day one surprised me because I'm like, I expected it to be something along the lines of Davion Banks, Cam Magnow, Bennett Stirtz, and then Fulgaris and Hazen.
Mm-hmm.
So like when we're
That's
seeing
what I had.
a bunch of Drake guys and then Tate Sage, like he's the guy that I had no reason to believe. I mean, what reason would I have to believe some very low, and I believe me, I'm not going to act like some great evaluator of talent or doubt McCollum's ability to evaluate, but of the two freshmen or of the three freshmen, he was the least regarded of them, of Trey Thompson, Trevin Urick, and Tate Sage. So, but he's the guy playing the most. Urick barely saw the court tonight. We saw Trevin Urick a little bit more. Maybe that was more matchups, with how Western Illinois plays and their lack of size. But I would say those would be my observations. The other thing was I was surprised that Fulgaris wasn't starting. He's a guy that, like I said, he was on some mock draft boards heading into the season, and he's not even a starter. That's wild to me. But I mean, he doesn't seem to be affected by it. I think he's playing well right now off the bench.
We've talked about shot blocking before. You had AC on here. Coach talked about his beliefs in shot blocking. They've only had 3 block shots in the first 2 games. There's a couple of times that Western Illinois drove the lane, and I just thought if there would have been someone back there, it would have made a difference. Is that something we should be concerned about? There's no rim protector at all. I mean, maybe Fulgaris can do it a little bit. I think he had one good one today, but that was over. I thought he went over the back, but he only had one today, and there's just not much there's no shot blocking in my opinion, but others might, disagree.
Take more charges.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gary's not a big shot blocking guy, so you're asking the wrong coach, Doug.
Right, Gary? It's not exactly true, but there's some truth to it.
Well, real quick. When you speak, Gary, I listen, so I know you're not a big shot blocking guy. So
that sounds like a commercial.
But no, I mean, Trevin Urick is probably just. To what Gary said earlier, when freshmen aren't playing early, it's usually the defense is the biggest curve. And I had concerns with him out of high school anyways, Doug. I know he's Mr. Iowa.
Most high school kids can't play defense.
Yeah. And he just, to me, how do I put this nicely? He's a little oddly shaped, in my opinion. He's got a really wide.
You guys were 6'6" at Western Valley. I don't know. So I don't know. But maybe a few. Best player out Western Valley is Matt Bullard. No?
Matt Bullard. He was a good one.
Yeah, he was Western Valley.
Matt Bullard came to our camp when he was at the University of Colorado, he was named the freshman. I think he was named the Big 8 or whatever they were then, Big 12 freshman of the year. He came to work our camp that summer, and I was talking in front of that camp, and I talked about what a great player he was, and he should be at Iowa. We had just gotten
Dylan?
he should be at Iowa, but he's a terrific player at Colorado. After the session, he came to me and said, "Do you think I could come to Iowa?" I said, "You go see Coach Davis right away."
NBA champion Matt Bullard.
Yep, good player.
NBA champion.
So real quick, the stats would probably indicate, and I know you're going to argue this, Doug, but the stats would say Peter Jock was a better college player than Matt Bullard. I just compared the stats. Obviously, I wasn't alive watching Matt Bullard, but Matt
was
had a pro.
Matt had some serious. He had a couple bad knee injuries with us, but had a solid NBA career.
I was watching a game from that year. You guys played 18-year-old Matt Bullard and Les Jepson in the same rotation. And I thought that had to be the tallest front line ever. What was that?
We tried to intimidate people.
That was a tall front line. So, lineups matter, and I'm very curious where Ben goes from here with the lineups. I'm curious who will earn more playing time and who's going to get in the doghouse. I thought Cooper played way too good not to play that much in the second half. And but maybe I have too much bias for my 90s Hawkeyes and like JR too much. But Howard and Tate played pretty well. But, again, they need a third scoring option that's a consistent third scoring option. Because I think Figueres will be a good second option. And that's just my opinion as of now.
Can I just say this, Gary? And, Doug, you're welcome to chime in on this as well because we all know you're a basketball junkie. But as I'm watching this, it's been a long – people got to realize, including yourself, Gary, I know you've been away from Iowa athletics for a while and you were a part of the opposition up in Madison for a while. But, we're not used to new head coaches. Lisa Bluter was here forever, and then you kind of just move into the Jan Jensen era, and it's looked a little different, but it's kind of the same, and it's not like we had a big roster overhaul. Kirk Ferentz has been here since the 20th century, and Fran had been here 15 years or whatever it was. So this is uncharted waters, and I know just for myself, when I watched the game Tuesday, I really didn't know what to expect other than I watched some Drake basketball late in the season last year because of the Ben McCollum situation, and I'm just like, as I'm watching them on the offensive end, I'm thinking to myself, this looks so different than what Fran's teams look like. And I can't even really describe. Gary, you as a coach, tell us what is so drastically different between a Fran McCaffrey offense and what you saw tonight from Ben McCollum's offense.
Fran was a real good offensive coach. I mean, they could score with anybody.
Got 112 tonight.
They scored a lot tonight.
Frank they won big. Penn had 112 tonight.
This says 109. Don says 119.
Well, and he's probably smarter than me. Good job, Don.
Wow.
Yeah, 119. But they played the profs. You know who the profs are, Gary? How do you know that?
From New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. Come on.
Well, he put up. Listen. Fran I'm not trying to make fun of it. He put up 119. They gave up 72. Go ahead, Gary.
Well, that's a good start. He ran the passing game really well. He taught it real well. I think you see a little, a few more set plays from Ben, more ball screens. They run a lot of ball screens and try to create mismatches and especially with Stirtz it's as I said before, it's the first time I've ever seen his team play. I don't know any of the players other than Stirtz, other than what little I've read. So I'm gonna have to get educated here a little bit. But I was impressed. They talked about him being real slow, and I didn't see any of that tonight. I know that may change when they get into the Big Ten, but they passed the ball really well. They're unselfish. Had a lot of assists. Hit the extra, made the extra pass, hit the open man. And I thought they looked good at, there's always room for improvement. I thought they looked good at both ends.
To me, real quick, I just want to say this. We keep talking about how dependent, or I keep talking about how dependent they are going to be on Bennett Stirtz. Gary, I'm just going to say very plainly what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what I have been thinking as I watch that game, especially tonight. Maybe I'm living in the moment. They don't look real talented. I mean, like the team doesn't really look well talented besides Stirtz, Fulgaris, and maybe Koch. But, again, I don't think none of us expected them to be this really talented team, but we expected them to be really well coached, sound, disciplined on the defensive end. And isn't that how they're going to have to do it if they're going to win with this roster? And am I wrong when I say the roster really doesn't look that talented on the court? Do you see the same thing?
Well, like I said, I've only seen them once, so it's a little bit hard to say. I mean, nobody just jumped off the television set, but Stirtz is good. I mean, he's really good. When you have a point guard like that, you can control some things. But as their competition gets stiffer and the Big Ten looks really strong this year, we'll find out pretty soon. But like you said, if they can continue to play solid defense and take care of the ball and things like that, then they can be in games and hopefully make some plays down the stretch. So I think they're off to a good start.
My last question for you, Coach, is on Ben and Coach McCollum. I know he's talked about maybe a few people that have been his inspirations or people that would there be a system offensively or defensively that you could compare in the Big Ten or previous coaches to his system a little bit? I mean, we always talk about like Indiana's motion offense or the flex. What can you compare his stuff to, both either offense or defensively, to former coaches that we might know?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Defensively, I was a little surprised not surprised, but like I said, I hadn't seen him play, how extended they were and how aggressive they were on the ball. It'll be curious to see if that continues as the competition gets better with the talent that they play against. Offensively, they ran a lot of ball screens. Hard for me to come up with something real quick. A little bit like Wisconsin, how they've changed their offense. They're running a lot of ball screens now, kind of the wing ball screen, where it's just hard to help from because it's on one side of the court. But probably need to watch them a little bit more to really come up with something. But I thought on the offensive end, they moved the ball well, passed the ball well, and for the most part, got good shots.
Is it weird that they have a week off this early?
Yeah, I guess a little bit. Yeah.
Would you like that as a coach, or would you not like that with a new group and they've had a couple of secret scrimmages and then a couple of lowly opponents coming into Carver?
Yeah. Well, it gives them, they can break these two games down. Here's what we got to work on and get ready. I know their next game, I think, is Xavier, so that's going to be a step up. So they get some time to prepare for that, and their schedule is what it is. Maybe they lost a game in there somewhere that for some reason that left that gap.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the preseason poll. Xavier was actually picked to finish 8th in an 11-team Big East. So
new coach.
Yeah.
Maybe they lost a lot of guys with the coach leaving.
Remind me who. So I know it was Miller, but he's gone. Who's their new coach?
Patino.
That's right, Patino.
Yeah.
Ooh, picking them 8th with Patino. That's interesting, man. I what an interesting game in a week. That's going to be.
That'll be a step up, certainly in terms of athleticism and size and things like that. So that'll be a good test.
And they don't have a ton of opportunities in the non-conference schedule, Gary. I think.
Yeah, who do they play in that tournament? I saw that down at the bottom.
They'll get Ole Miss. It's just a double. It's a 2-game event. So they'll get Ole Miss on Tuesday the 25th, and then either Grand Canyon or Utah.
Where is that?
Palm Desert, California.
Oh, I'm going to the desert. Yeah, I don't off the top of my head. Utah, it's got good tradition, and I don't know if they're really strong this year or not. Grand Canyon's always had a really solid team that has made the NCAA tournament a number of times. So I would guess both of those teams would be competitive. I know nothing about Mississippi, but it's an SEC school.
Yeah, and they tend to recruit pretty well. Big Grove's big play of the day, the fast break done from Alvaro Folgueras. And I know, Gary, you didn't see game one, but there have been a lot of exciting tomahawk dunks. It's been, I know Stirtz had a big alley-oop finish on Tuesday. You had at least one from Folgueras. I know Tavion Banks had one or two. So they've got some athleticism.
Where is Folgueras from? Is he a transfer from Robert Morris?
Yes, he's from Robert Morris, originally from Spain. He's got the, I mean, you can tell he plays like a European, which I love. I mean, he's got the length, and
he's got a chance.
The only thing I worry about, but because we see guys in the league play with, I mean, look at Chet Holmgren. Now he's a freak. Wembanyama's a freak, but Folgueras doesn't appear to be the bulkiest, strongest dude in the world. That's just how he's built. Is that a concern of yours heading into a physical Big Ten season?
Well, I don't know anything about him. If he's a tough kid, then he can make up for it. If he's not, then that might be a problem. Yeah.
Folks,
it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog, Corey.
Yeah. Well, there's no question this team's got, I mean, look at Tavion. This is what Ben McCollum, why he brought 6 guys over from Drake, because they had dogs there. They maybe didn't have the most talented, like Tavion Banks, Cam Magnow, Isaiah Howard. They're probably not the most talented guys. They're recruiting. I mean, hey, Magnow and Tavion Banks were both at Wyoming before McCollum took the Drake job. He pulls them into Drake for a year. They win a conference, go to the NCAA tournament, have success, and now they're at Iowa. It's amazing how things have turned, how things have changed. Big thank you to Big Grove Brewery. They're the official craft brewery of the Hawkeyes, and you can visit all of their fine locations in the state of Iowa and now in Omaha, Nebraska. Check out their locations at biggrove.com and enjoy their Easy Eddie, their neighborhood beer, their Citrus Surfer, or any of their great options, and enjoy their great food at the tap rooms at those locations. Again, biggrove.com. Also, RTI Threads, they're with us again this month. Aaron Graves, Zach Lutmer, Jacob Gill, Carson Shire. Those 4 guys going to have to come up big tomorrow night against Oregon. Huge game.
That's a big game.
Yeah, are you excited about that one, Gary?
Yeah, I am. They got the all black uniforms, and
I'm
looking forward to watching that.
Cool that they're bringing the black.
Maybe I'll come on your show.
You and Don. Hey, we get Matt.
Man.
Do you remember? You probably don't. Where were you in 2007, 8? Were you at Regina?
2007 and 8. I was in Wisconsin.
Oh, I'm sorry. When were you at Regina? Was that like?
I was with the Regals from 2000 to 2003.
Okay, so it was right after Wisconsin. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, of course you were at Regina.
Right before Wisconsin, right after Iowa.
Did you go to Wisconsin?
2003.
Was that did you feel like that was a big break for you, or was Regina always like just a stepping stone?
No, Regina was, I just love coaching, and they approached me about it. I said, yeah, I'd love to do some coaching. So, that was really that. And then Tony Bennett left to go to Washington State with his dad. And I had called Bo about another job. And he said, well, that's a good job, but I just lost an assistant. Would you be interested? And basically I told him, when should I start? So as I say, the rest is history, Corey. Headed north.
Was it, so after 99, this is a question I don't think I've ever asked you. You guys knew that you were going to be out of jobs. When did you know that? What month was that made obvious?
I was prior to the beginning of the year.
It was actually prior to the season starting. So did you have a number of opportunities? Did schools reach out to you during that period of time?
From that time on?
Yeah, I mean, like during that season, were there schools kind of recruiting you as?
Yeah, they really don't. They really no. I mean, you're just so in tune with what's going on with your season. As it gets towards the end of the season, then then some things start to happen, but not during the bulk of it.
But what led you to not take another job right there in 2000? Like not another
right after Iowa
college coaching job.
Yeah, well, I interviewed at several jobs, didn't get any, so I was, I was in limbo.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Very cool. All right. Question here from Bryce, he says, Corey and Gary, do you see our lack of height and especially girth inside hurting us once Big Ten play begins? Excellent question.
That is a good question, and that's something we got to watch. It could be, like I had said before, you don't know what the toughness and the heart that they've got that they might be able to make up for. But Big Ten is a physical big league, and that could be a problem, especially with as aggressive as they're playing out on the perimeter, because they're going to give up some penetration at times. So that'll be something to watch for sure.
So guys getting beat off the dribble, because I did notice that, especially in the first half, there was a stretch there where they did not look great defensively. Was it because they were being so aggressive out in the perimeter, or was it in some cases just bad footwork? What did you see when guys were getting beat?
I think it was a combination of that. Yeah, I think they footwork for sure, opening up. Maybe some of those guys surprised them a little bit, but they were better. They were better in the second half,
yes,
for sure. But you're going to be playing much quicker, athletic players, and you're going to be playing teams that are going to put 3, 4, 5 players out there that can all score. So now, your help becomes a little bit more of a problem, and so it'll be interesting to see if they'll continue to be really aggressive and extended as they get into big play. My guess is they will be. I think that's, like I said, I haven't watched him enough to really know fundamentally what he does, but that surprised me how aggressive they were, and in many cases very effective with it.
And I don't know what the data says, but I do think it's almost impossible to project the mid majors now with the portal. I just like the other night, Gary, and I hope you're able at some point able to at least see some of that game against Robert Morris, because I think you're going to probably come away really impressed. But for people that say, well, that Robert Morris was in the NCAA tournament last year, they brought one guy back from that team. Yeah. One guy. It's impossible.
Well, their best player was playing for Iowa.
That's right. Yeah. I was working against them literally. And Western Illinois was projected bottom of their league, but we don't know. I mean, who knows? They got a bunch of transfers. Everybody's got a bunch of transfers.
Yeah, now, so. That's a crapshoot. Yeah.
All right.
Especially at the mid-major level.
Yeah. Let's go to our final 2 callers. We got Cody here. Cody, good to see your face, sir.
Hello. How are you guys?
Good, Cody. How are you?
Good. Hey, Gary, this would be a question. Doug would appreciate this one too. Going back, how good was Ray Thompson?
Ray Thompson was the real deal. Ray Thompson was a McDonald's All-American. I thought he was maybe the best player we ever had in pressure defense. His anticipation, long arms, athletic. The year they suspended him, which I think was 88, 89, we had a really good team. We find out 3 or 4 days before the NCAA tournament he's not going to be able to play. And boy, that really hurt us. I mean, he was a good, really, really good player.
Yeah, I remember him on that team in particular. And I don't know, I was really bummed. I was 11 years old for that team. So that was pretty exciting at the time watching it. I thought, oh, man, this going to do some big things. And the next thing you know, I think you ended up, was it Oral Roberts? Is that where he went?
Yeah, he ended up, he transferred to Oral Roberts and never really developed into what I thought was going to be. He was a classic high school kid in the sense that he was so athletic that he could just dominate the game because of his athleticism. He needed to work on his skill. I would have loved to have had him for a few more years. His shooting was average. Yep. Ball handling was average. But, boy, he was athletic. He played above the rim.
Yeah, he was one of those what-ifs, I thought, like such a big one. Like, what could have we done with him? You know what I mean?
No, it was a big loss.
Because did he get 2 years before he left was he a junior when he ended up at Oral Roberts, or?
No, I think he only played 1 year.
Man.
I'm pretty sure he only played 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a player I really enjoyed watching at the time. And it just, at the time before the internets and paper, you had a paper to look at, but just guys, when they were gone, they just were kind of gone. You just didn't hear much about them anymore, and that was one that was kind of a bummer. So
hey, real quick, I'm going to debunk what you just said, Cody. What's Josh Ogundelli doing right now?
Where did he go? He went somewhere out east, didn't he?
I rest my case. So there are examples of guys that leave and you have no idea where they end up. But it sounds like this guy was really good.
Where did Riley Mulvey go?
He's at Siena. Yeah, you had my gears had to start moving in my head internally. Do you remember where Cody? You remember where Laji Dembele ended up?
Oh man, I don't.
Vegas, UNLV.
Okay. What?
So,
I saw Sadu just put up 23 the other day, and I don't even remember where he went. I saw his line.
Isn't he at Kansas?
Traore?
Isn't Sadu at Kansas? I'm
Is
pretty
he?
sure he's at Kansas. No, he's Utah. My bad.
Okay.
He
I
was
was gonna
being
say,
recruited
I'm
by
like,
Oh, they
Kansas.
might play him then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. And James says that Ogundele is now at Hampton. That's like that's like his fourth school.
Yeah.
Well, that's the nature of the beast right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's crazy. He spent time with Luka and everybody. I remember everybody thinking, oh man, this time with Luka, Josh is going to be ready to cook when he gets in. Not so much.
Luka's getting some minutes with the Celtics.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's
Yeah.
getting good minutes. They got rid of Porzingis, and
Yeah.
he's playing a little bit.
Luka's going to give you effort, that's for sure.
Yep.
He's trying hard. So yeah.
He's thinner. He's really thin. He's
Yep.
trimmed down. He looks a little more athletic, and which is probably good for the NBA.
Right. Yeah, I listened to the game tonight because I don't have Big Ten Plus, and it's just one of those that I'm not going to get another streaming service. It's the old man yelling at the clouds thing, unfortunately. So I listened to Dolph, and but the one thing I think is going to be good about this team just is the effort level is there, because one of the things I think that got Fran in a little bit of hot water with the fans is, guys would end up with open threes. Guys would get multiple rebounds against us, and from a fan's perspective, when you see that happen, it looks like the effort level isn't there, even though they're trying, of course. But I mean, if you're giving up multiple rebounds on possessions, they're swing, and the guy's wide open and nobody even makes an effort to run out his 3-point shot. I think that's the stuff that, fans really kind of, it kind of burned some bridges, so to speak, with Fran and how he was viewed. But I don't think Ben will let any of those guys get away with that kind of stuff. So at least the effort level will always be there, and we'll see how it shakes out with,
everybody says, Gary, that fans want to see tons of points scored and they want to see high flying. But the reality is Fran McCaffrey lost the fan base at the end of his tenure. He just did. And I look just across the street, right, at Iowa State. Those Iowa State teams aren't known for high-flying offense, Gary. They're known for great rebounding, physical play, great defense, and Hilton is packed. Now, Hilton's a great atmosphere. It's been that way even under Hoiberg, which was a more offensive era. But nevertheless, like their fans are engaged. They win, and I think it's probably going to look – McCollum's going to look more like Otzelberger than Fran. So
I agree.
Yeah,
Well, if you win, they'll come. It doesn't matter what style you play if you win. Now, if you lose – and your style of play is boring, and that's a different, or can proceed to be boring, then that's a different problem.
Right. And I mean, maybe defense isn't as sexy as, 30-foot 3-pointers, but that gets fans pumped up too. If you get up in guys and they have a hard time getting shots off, you get a shot clock violation. So, I mean, that gets fans excited too, but I just
say real quick, if I just interject, Cody, you want to know why it's going to really get fans going this year?
Why is that?
Because they're coming off of 15 years of Fran McCaffrey. I mean,
exactly.
Whether you love Fran or not, like how many times these first two games they're playing Robert Morris in Western Illinois. In that game against Robert Morris, you got Ben McCollum, gesturing towards the crowd like 5 minutes into the game because they're just going nuts over defense. It's just, it's you're going to get more of a reaction in year one, and that buys you some time if you're Ben McCollum to get better players in there, hopefully starting in 26.
For sure. I do think it's funny when you look at it. It's almost like Iowa basketball is copying Otzelberger, like you said, Corey, and becoming more like them. And then Iowa State football with Matt Campbell essentially almost copied Iowa football by being more defensive oriented. So even though we hate each other, I guess we're still brothers and got to copy each other. I don't know. So
best of both worlds, best of both programs, both institutions.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Good to see you.
All right. Couple questions here before we finish this thing off. I got one caller on hold. Copper Stacker, having Big Les and AC Earl in the game at the same time controlled the paint. That was a big key to Iowa's win over ISU in '89. I'm assuming you recall that one, Gary.
Yes, absolutely. Although I have to admit, my memory's not as sharp as it once was. But Les and Ace did a real good job. That's good size. There's some shot blocking there for sure, and rebounding. So
Chris
we
Bacon,
seemed to win at our place, and they won at their place. It's kind of
Hopefully Iowa can get back to at least that with this rivalry now that you got a new staff in place. Chris Bacon says, "Do I need a new TV, or was the video really bad?" No, I think it was what it normally is.
I had to watch it on my phone.
Was it okay on your phone?
Not bad. Yeah, I had no problem.
Yeah. Jake says, we stepped out of bounds 3 times. Yeah, in the corner. Just talked about it a lot, but I swear that never used to happen 10-ish years ago. Now I see it all the time, even in the NBA. Well, 10 years ago. Well, didn't the 3-point line get moved 10 years ago?
It's a little farther back than it was at the beginning. Yeah, not much, but the NBA is even farther. You get over there, on the side in the NBA, you got to be careful because it's out there. But come on, know where you are.
But those are things that Ben will have corrected.
Oh yeah.
You had a week, and if Jake's noticing it. Jez called it out several times during the broadcast.
Jez did it all the time when he played because he was always hanging on the 3-point line.
Hey, those big clown feet too, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Coach Gary Close. Who's on the line?
Uh-oh.
Hello, you're on the air.
Yep, this is Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
How are you?
We're good. How are you?
Yes, I am good. Yeah, I was been real impressed these 2 games with the effort on the defense. Just a nice change of emphasis on playing defense in basketball, not just offense. So I just enjoy the defensive effort they have. I mean, there's a lot
They've gotten after it for sure.
But it's just nice to see the team playing defense. To me, it makes it exciting playing defense. So just as much as the offense.
I think people.
Well, it'll give you a better chance to win, especially if you've got less talent. The Big Ten, from what it looks like, is really highly thought of in terms of quality teams. So there's going to be some talent that they're going to go up against.
Yeah, and also that last caller mentioned about an old player, but he was a great player. I remember Ray Thompson that played 1 year. There was another one you guys had a couple of years or 3 years after that. I think played only 1 year. I don't know exactly what happened with him, if he got suspended or not. But from Galesburg, Joey Range.
Yeah, Joey played for us, and then that's when we left. I think we had him for his freshman year, I believe. And then our contracts weren't renewed, and I think Coach Alford got rid of him, and I'm not sure why. But yeah, he was a really good player for us. Didn't fit in well with the next staff.
Yeah, he kind of reminded me a lot of Ray Thompson in a way.
Yeah, there was definitely some similarities.
He was a very good player. Him and Rod Thompson actually both came from Galesburg.
Yep, I agree.
So then
For sure.
also I was watching the game. It was funny how Jeff Settles was trying to get the Carver cone cell up. We're trying to get with Beth Getz and everybody to get the Carver cones cells up. That everybody.
Can I ask just a stupid question? What is the deal with Carver cones? Who cares about? Are they that good? Soft serve ice cream that much better in Carver than
cones? Carver cones. Yeah, they are good.
They're much better than Casey's, or I mean, it's soft serve ice cream. I guess I just don't know what the difference is. Are they worth?
All I can say is it's good, and a lot of times the lines are long.
Oh, they are long. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. Where to get it so not so like 30, 40 people deep, and so trying to get more sales. But they are. I mean, it was just a mystique that just people that got the name Carver-Hawkeye. That it's just a mystique of, but they are good. So.
Well, Brian, we appreciate you calling in, sir, and we'll look forward to hearing.
Good to hear
you
from you, Brian.
Okay, thanks,
you, Brian. All right, our final caller of the night. We've got James here with us. James, thank you for calling.
I was hoping he was going to call. I'd have been disappointed if he hadn't.
Well, I was watching the game, but I seen you had people in the queue, so I was waiting for them to get off, and I already knew they were going to talk, so I was just waiting at the end. But
You're a decent
I kind
guy.
of was a little frustrated at parts of the game, just in the fact of I know Western's better than they were projected. Obviously, I can kind of tell overall they're projected. They have some good transfers. Like I watched the Cook dude play when he was at Indiana State, obviously, because I watched him MVC, from because of UNI and stuff like that. And then obviously some of the Iowans they have on the roster. Like I knew they were going to come with the intensity, but I thought we would play a little better at some points. I felt like we were a little flat at some points, but we also were making shots. And they were making some tough shots, and they also were getting the rack. So we kind of were staying in it because they're making some tough shots. There were some shots where I was like, you're playing good defense. You're just making the shots, and there's nothing you can do about it in that aspect, right? Like, there was a couple of them, especially in the second half, where I'm like, that's a good defense, and the shot's just going in. You can't really do nothing about that. But more like when we had a chance to stretch it out, I felt like we didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially like when it got to like that, 12-point range, it would be like, we get to 12, and they cut it back to 9. You get to 13, they cut it back to 10. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing where it's like, I feel like we didn't just get the couple stops that we needed. And I know we're talking about this defense being great. I know it's the second game of the year, but I'm just saying, like, that I'm hoping that's not a sign of things to come. You know what I mean? Where it's like, when you step on the gas pedal, you don't step on the gas pedal.
I don't think we learned
Yeah.
much. I don't think we learned a lot big picture.
It's early.
It's really early.
They missed a few shots around the rim that they're going to have to convert in
Yeah.
the game. I thought they gave away probably 8 or 10 points of shots around the basket that they didn't get down. You're not going to be a well-oiled machine 2 games in, especially with a new, a new coach and a new group.
It's also
The effort's there.
Yeah, it's also good though if you're gonna do that early, right? Obviously, get that out the way early if you're gonna be a little flat, and you can work on stuff throughout the year, right? Especially it's good to do it second game of the year or first game of the year, just so you can kind of get that back under your belt. But also you get Xavier, so you get a obviously more quality opponent. But I'm just happy, obviously, with the defensive intensity, and I see the intensity there. Sometimes they're getting blown by, like somebody said earlier, they kind of were getting beat a little bit, but the intensity is there, right? They're at least giving the effort, right? And sometimes you're gonna make a mistake defensively, you're gonna over rotate, or you're gonna not slide quick enough over, right? And then get to the rack. But at least you're making the effort, right? We haven't seen that in the last, 15 years of them at least even giving the effort at all, right? Like you can fix the mistakes, you can't fix the effort. You know what I mean? Like you have to be able to give effort. If they're going to give effort, you can fix the mistakes, but you have to be willing to put the effort in first.
The effort was good, no doubt.
Absolutely, James.
But it was good to see at least getting the win. The win's the most important thing, obviously. You learn your lessons from it, but we got a big one.
Go get a win tomorrow, James.
Yeah, so I was gonna say we got a big one tomorrow, and just keep supporting these guys. They're putting all the effort in, whether it's football, basketball, or women's basketball. They're putting the effort to do well. So we'll see what happens. And I don't know how many people can go to the game with the weather being the way it is, but hopefully we all can still sit there and support if we got tickets to the game. But
you got it, buddy.
Bad weather there tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, really bad weather. We got chance of snow, first snow of the year, mixed with rain and wind, 20-mile-per-hour winds, and it's going to be as cold as it's
that's our kind of weather.
Upper 30s, low 40s. What's going on? Why are these people in the chat? Like, what is this? Steve says, really appreciate Coach Close. Kyle says, love Coach Close, a true treasure.
That must be Kyle Galloway.
Joey says, appreciate the time you spend with us, Coach. Appreciate all the great Hawkeye memories you're a part of. And all these people are just.
I am too.
What did you do? Did you have some? Are you creating?
That was my 2 cousins and my friend down the street.
Let's see. It's Jeff Settle's first account, his second account, his third account.
There you go.
Now, Joey wants to know if you were there for Marcellus Somerville and did Samaki Walker actually make Iowa's roster in the early 90s?
I don't think so. I thought Samaki Walker went to Ohio State, but like I said, my memory's starting to go. But I was not there for Marcellus.
Mr. Circle Herc says, we know the story of Coach McCollum helping put away chairs at a nightclub event in Carroll. Is it true every night he puts away the folding chairs from the new Hawks nest? Go Hawks, yeah. Right. I don't think he's doing that.
Coach McCollum was at a camp we had up in Storm Lake, Iowa.
That's the little kid. Isn't that the picture of the little kid with Dr.
Coach
Thomas?
Davis. Yeah.
That's from Storm Lake, yeah.
Yep. That was a camp we ran up there.
Yeah.
Fun time.
Small world, right?
Small world, yep.
Things come around. Big Grove, RTI Threads player of the game. We talked about our Big Grove big play of the day. Bennett Stirtz finishes our RTI Threads player of the game, 24 efficient points on 11 field goal attempts, 4 made threes, perfect from the foul line, 6 of 6, 7 assists, 2 steals, no turnovers. And it felt like he left a lot out there still. Like he wasn't as aggressive as he may be at certain times when they need him to just be a takeover guy. Gary, if you're learning one thing that I didn't know from Bennett Stirtz yet is through 2 games, he does not force anything. He forces nothing. And
very, very intelligent player.
Yeah. And
well
you can
coached.
see they were talking about him maybe being a lottery pick. Gary, I mean,
Well, I'll tell you what, he's good. I'm looking forward to watching him. He's the real deal.
The Hawkeyes defeating Western Illinois 75-58 the final. And a big thank you to our sponsor, RTI Threads. I've talked about them, but if you've not seen their website, you still have time to get this great Hawkeye apparel of some guys who are graduating after this season. Jacob Gill, Aaron Graves, Zach Lutmer, Carson Shire. Personalize your gear and be sure you get your favorite friends and family members what they want. Again, so many different options, even for cold weather. I've been touting the pom-pom beanie, the Zach Lutmer beanie, and again, a couple of different colors. I love the black and white with the gold logo. All available, rtithreads.com/NIL. Choose your size and customize today. The link
They
is,
should send us a little bit of gear and we can sport it on the show.
I've done that.
Okay.
I should send some to you, but you're not on our football shows, so.
Oh,
But
okay. That's true.
but
They don't do
I have
basketball.
done that. Yeah, say that again.
They don't do basketball players.
They have done basketball players. Ironically enough, last year RTI Threads is in Omaha, and they've got a location in North Sioux City. Ironically enough, they had 4 athletes on the Iowa team last year. They had Peyton and Price, and then they had Josh Dix and Owen Freeman. Since Josh Dix and Owen Freeman transferred to Creighton, they are still working with them at Creighton.
Oh, okay.
So they kept that relationship because they work with Creighton as well as Iowa, and they do a little bit with Nebraska. So, but yeah, and I think they maybe still have some Peyton Sandford gear available if people want to buy that. But it's weird watching Iowa and realizing that Cooper Koch is the only holdover from last season. It just feels odd to me, Gary, but
That's crazy. I know that is really crazy.
isn't that weird?
Mm.
But we're watching it. So, and it's
Sign
been
of the times.
Yeah, absolutely. Gary, appreciate you being here as always.
You bet.
We're back, and
Fun.
yeah, we'll do this again, folks. Iowa has a week off. They'll get Xavier a week from tonight. Huge game in Carver. I will be there in person for Iowa Xavier.
That's going to draw a few people there.
Well, don't let the cat out of the bag too early now, Gary. But no, I will be there. Big game, big opportunity. One of few in the non-conference to get some resume building wins in November. So, and then of course, Iowa postgame with Coach Don Patterson, special guest Matt Kroll. That's why I asked you what you were doing in 07-08, because Matt Kroll was a great Iowa football player during that time.
Yep.
So you remember Matt Kroll. How about that?
I do.
Look at you.
I do. I was still am a big Iowa football fan.
So you were following Iowa football even when you were coaching Wisconsin basketball.
Oh yeah. I definitely watched the Hawkeyes football.
Good deal.
I think Kurt Friends is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And he's an even better person.
Yes.
Yeah.
DC Hawkeye, thank you for the super chat. Great to see and hear from Coach and Gary for another year. Thank you. The Carver cones are good because while you walk up all those stairs, you get hungry. I can see that. And you need something cold.
That's a
Right?
good point. And then by the time you get down to your seat, it's melted.
That's right. Thank you, DC Hawkeye. Appreciate you being here. And a reminder that on Sunday, folks, I will be live after Iowa and Western Illinois women's basketball. No, I'm
it's a
sorry.
doubleheader letter next.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. Evansville. They're both purple and they're both Midwest. So, anyways, Iowa, Evansville on the women's side, Big Ten.
Have they
plus.
played yet?
Yes, they beat Southern. They played an exhibition and they beat Southern in their opener.
Are the two girls from Wisconsin? Do they still play for them a fair amount?
Tegan Mullaney is hurt right now.
Oh,
and then Stremlow is playing. Yeah.
okay.
They both got to get better.
Yeah.
Mullaney still, I think, well, we haven't seen much. I shouldn't be critical until I see her, but I think she really struggled on the defensive end last year. And Stremlow's just got to give you something offensively. Like she's kind of the opposite. She's tough. She's gritty, good defender, but she's got to be able to make open shots. So, but yeah, they're both in line.
It's a classic example of a person that just dominated the game because they're skilled and athletic.
Yeah.
At the high school level, and now it's a whole new ball game.
Absolutely, Tegan Mullaney. Hey, Callie Levine isn't playing at all. She was Miss Iowa 2 years ago for Solon.
It's a big jump.
It is a big jump. Hey, well, we'll talk about this after we get off there. I got to mention something to you before we log off here. All right, folks. For Coach Gary Close, I'm Corey Bratta from the Hawkeye of the Storm. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow night after hopefully a big win over Oregon at Kinnick Stadium. Have a great night.